here.
Do you live in Queens?
I do.
I
live right over here.
I just moved back to New York in March, and yeah, because I left for 2 years. So like and it was the best 2 years of my life.
Girl, you don't even want to get me talking about that. I've been trying to escape this city for the last million years. I can't leave. I've been here 25 years straight.
Ooh, where you from again?
Alabama.
You ain't going back down there, are you?
Listen, at this point, anything sounds good, girl. This city be...
Although Alabama, I will say, I went there last year and traveled through Montgomery, Birmingham, and Selma. I had never really been. And I wanted to hit some historical spots.
Very
the
historical.
Legacy Museum. That was a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And Selma, I was like, Selma, I'd never seen poverty like that in America. And I was like, wow. I was like, what arts programs could I bring down here to start? But then I also don't want to take away from like I want the artists of Alabama to be able to benefit from that, you know.
Absolutely, but the thing is, a lot of them don't want a lot of change. So even if you try to bring new things down there, or you're trying to like expand in any way, shape, or form, they're just very resistant to it.
Yeah.
Do we have everything?
Jackie says hello.
Oh my God, Jackie! Hi, Jackie! Tell her she gotta go out here too, honey.
I will. She was like, "What you doing in Queens?" I said, "Girl, Shannon Antalan." Miss Shannon Antalan.
Shannon and her shenanigans.
Little Inez.
Little Inez. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. You only number 2, so
okay.
I'm still learning.
I love this.
I know. So, hello and welcome to Broadway Talk with Shannon Antalan.
Broadway Talk. Broadway Talk. Come on. Broadway Talk with Shannon Antalan.
I am Shannon Antalan, and you will never guess who we have in the Candy Suite or today. From Waitress the Musical. Currently starting in subs from all sorts of TV and film, we have Miss Anastacia McClesky.
Hi.
I love it. Thank you for coming out to Queens. We were just talking about how quiet it is out here.
It's beautiful out here. I mean, also it's a nice day in New York, so the sun is shining, and there are no tall buildings.
Yes. If you can feel like you can see the sky.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it out here. It's very quiet. I'm glad you had a nice ride out.
Mm-hmm.
Make you feel like, okay, I'm out of the city. I can breathe a little bit. I'm enjoying it. So, yay, I'm glad that you came out here. I got my cards again because I think I'm cute or whatever. I got to stay on focus. So, you're doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I mean, it's, what is today? November 7th. So, it's the day after the results came in of the presidential election. So, that, I think, has been heavy on my spirit. But at the same time, I have hope, and I believe in humanity, and I believe that we're going to be okay. And maybe, I mean, yesterday was hard because I'm in SUFS, the musical, which is about the suffragist movement, women getting the right to vote. And so doing that piece twice yesterday was hard. It was hard in my body. And a lot of the thing, the black, I play Mary Church Terrell, on the black storyline between Mary Church Terrell and Ida B. Wells, you're constantly battling, Nikki James, yeah. You're constantly battling the fact that you are fighting in a system that was not built for you to survive in, but you are surviving, and you're not only are you surviving, you're excelling at it, but then also there's so much pushback constantly,
Constantly from every angle.
Yeah.
It's been a difficult transition, definitely, but we're going to be all right. But how wonderful would it have been to have a black woman?
Oh, my gosh. And I don't know when America will be ready for a woman, let alone a black woman.
Right.
I think the patriarchy is so strong, and it's not just with men. I think it has trickled down to the ideology of women and other people who embrace the ideology behind the patriarchy, and I think they're just afraid of change.
Yeah.
Of true change.
Absolutely. And you think yesterday when doing the show after the election, what was the audience? What was the energy with the audience?
Honestly, it was one of the most exciting places to be because the audience was just hype. They were there to show us love, and so then we could show them love through telling them this story. And also it's that thing too when you're telling a story like this, because our piece is not just about getting the right to vote, it's about agitation, it's about organization. And it reminds us that agitation is important and organization takes years.
Yes.
You know, they fought through the late 1800s up until 1920 when the 19th Amendment was passed for women to get the right to vote, and that was just white women.
Right.
And so it was electric, and it's reminding the audience that you can go out there and galvanize in your communities.
Yes.
You can organize in your communities. You can donate in your communities. You can educate in your communities and make change possible. And it's the small scale that becomes the big scale.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if we have enough small scales, we all come together and it makes one big giant.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. Like when George Floyd and all those things were going on in 2020, I organized a little march out here in Queens because I'm like, I want to do my part.
Right.
You know, I did go to the marches in the city and they were extreme. I felt like I was back in Alabama for real. I was like, I'm scared. How is this?
Yeah,
and
and I feel like we're gonna see a lot of that in the coming years.
Yeah.
You know, my hope and prayer is that the Biden administration that's in there right now really passes legislation and signs some executive orders so we can have some things in place that the Trump administration will not be able to touch.
Yeah.
I really hope they are buckling down and doing what they need to do to set us up for success after those 4 years.
Right. If those 4 years ever end.
Oh,
because,
Jesus. You know, that part.
Let's not go on to him because, honey. Okay, so now, where are you from?
I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh,
Southern girl.
I didn't know that. So do you sing any country music? Are you into country music?
I love country music. I do. I used to love, I mean, I still do. I love they now go by the Chicks. I like, of course, Dolly Parton. Mm-hmm. I love, to me, B.B. King was country. Mm-hmm. You know, Chuck Berry. Yes. And there, I feel like a lot of artists that like people might not know
is country.
Is country, yeah.
Right.
Honestly, because like a lot of them are older artists that like my papa and
will play in the house.
Yeah.
And
they're all gone.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because there's so many different. Like when Beyonce came out with her country album, like.
Well, and people don't know the history of country music either.
Exactly.
Like, people forget that country came from us.
Along with most things, they come from us, and they have derivatives that poke out outside of it. But you know, it came from like a bluesy type of. Yeah. I mean, okay. How was it in Nashville growing up there? Like, is it a big city?
It is. Honestly, it's grown a lot. When I was growing up there, it had kind of a small town vibe. Right. Very quiet, very safe. To grow up in Nashville's the capital of Tennessee. Right. And it is a blue city in a red state. So it's probably the most liberal and progressive city in Tennessee. And it has grown exponentially since I left. I moved to New York in 2002 to go to American Musical and Dramatics Academy. Yes. And so I haven't lived back there properly. I technically live there now. I'm just here working. But it has grown a lot because companies like Amazon, Oracle, Google, I think, moved to Nashville to set up shop, and that brought in that hype and business and just making it lit. Okay. So now it is a booming city. It is booming in the best ways. Right. Yeah. And you said something like you went back home for a couple of years, you said? I did. COVID. Tell me about that. Yeah, I left New York in 2022, so the country opened back up, 2021, kind of? Barely. Excuse me. Right. I went back to where I went back, Waitress reopened on Broadway, so I went back and did that. I did Annie Live, and then I went and did the revival of Caroline or Change, which I was doing when the shutdown happened. So I was the standby for Caroline when the shutdown happened. For Caroline, the Washing Machine, and Dottie. I would give to hear you sing anything from the Washing Machine. You have first of all, you have one of my favorite voices. Oh, thank you. I love your voice. It's one of my favorite voices on Broadway. And I would have loved to hear you sing
Lot's Wife or
Lot's Wife. Ooh, Lot's Wife.
Lord,
What a song.
the emotions.
Right. I feel
Yes.
like that's like 3 songs in one song.
It is. It is. That's what's so iconic about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
shut up, Sonya Pinkett. Shut up, girl.
Mhm.
So you were doing that when the world shut down.
When the world shut down, and then so when the world opened back up, as far as the theater world, like I said, waitress, then did Antalan, and then I got to go back and do Carolina Change, but I got to replace the amazing Tamika Lawrence as Dottie and just do Dottie
Wonderful.
with playing opposite Sharon D. Clark and
Yes.
the rest of the wonderful cast. Yeah, so that was fun. And then after that closed in January of 2022, I said the city just felt sad.
Right.
It felt sad, and when New York, it's so many people here, so when all those energies at one time are in a place of, you know, what's next, how are we going to come back from this, I said, I gotta go. I gotta go. This is
I can do this in Tennessee.
right. Well, and I was grateful enough. I'd gotten a job to do a new musical in Seattle at the Fifth Avenue Theater.
Awesome.
So I went out there and did that, and I said, I'm just gonna float and see where the wind takes me. I got rid of my apartment, sold most of my things, and me and my
Doesn't that
dog
feel
went out
good?
there.
That feels so good.
It's
After being in
freeing.
it's so freeing. I see the homeless people now. I be like, bro, I get you, because it's freeing. It's like you know, it's like you don't have to have those stresses.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I didn't
a
have
lot.
no bills.
Right. No lease, no obligations, nothing that's pressing onto you. That's very
It
freeing.
was me, my bags, and my dog.
That's pretty great for an artist, because that's what we need to be able to.
Yeah, and I think, like, you know, I feel like as artists, sometimes you can get conditioned to think, well, I have to be in New York or LA or Atlanta or Florida, Chicago, wherever. And it's like, no, you can travel around, and that's what I did. I went to Seattle. Once that closed, I went to Pittsfield, Massachusetts, to Barrington Theater. Once that closed, I went to the Muni and got to play Celia in The Color Purple, which was amazing because it's like an 11,000 seat theater outside.
Oh.
That was, I mean, one of the best gifts of my career.
Right.
And
you can just give it all to
Yes.
every angle.
Yes, to the moon and the stars.
Nice.
And I traveled around doing that, and then I would take vacations here or there, or drop stuff in Nashville, and you know, and it was nice because also I got back to why I became an artist.
Right. Absolutely.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't about becoming famous and winning awards. I just wanted to be a storyteller.
I was gonna ask you that. So what made you want to become an artist, and when did you discover your gift? Like, when did you find out? I can sing, or I can I can act. People are what, you know? When did you discover that? Like, what age?
I would say singing like maybe like 4 or 5. I learned how to read very early, and I remember going to church, and when I really understood the words that I was reading and singing the hymnals, I would be so loud, and my mom would be like, "Stacey, too loud," and my dad would be like, "Let her sing."
Right.
I was just so excited to sing and know this voice. So I would say around that age, and then I sang in church with this group called the Nashville Youth Chorus. And it was a bunch of different youths from different churches of Christ around Nashville area. And that was great. And then I ended up going to art schools from 5th through college, through AMDA.
Amazing.
So 5th grade through AMDA. And I originally was going to be a dancer because I danced. And then I wanted to play for the Chicago Bulls because this was before WNBA. I played AAU basketball.
Okay.
I wanted to be an engineer.
She said, "I want to be an engineer."
Listen,
I want to be an astronaut.
I did. I wanted
Absolutely.
to be an OBGYN. Like
Why not?
my mother put me in 8,000 programs growing up. So
Shout out to mom.
Yes.
Shout out to mom.
Listen.
Shout out to mom.
She
That's how
really
you
kept
do
me.
it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
And then I think in high school is when I was like, oh, I want to move to New York and be on Broadway. And I wrote myself a little letter, and I started auditioning for colleges, auditioned for AMDA, auditioned for Berklee School of Music. And honestly, and this is when I'm like, my guidance counselor didn't really lean in like she could have. I can't even remember the name. But I didn't know about a lot of the musical theater programs at a lot of these bigger other schools.
Right.
AMDA kind of fell in my lap.
They were back then. They were like, come here. They were just trying to grow, so they were definitely trying to get some people.
And I think with Berkeley, I had done like a summer program, and I got a full ride to Berkeley. AMDA gave me a little scholarship. I got accepted to Fisk University in Nashville. Wow. And I was like, I want to move to New York.
Right.
And at the time, AMDA was only a 2-year program.
Yeah.
And so I did a presentation for my parents 3 days in a row to convince them to allow me to move to New York.
I was going to ask you that. Were they very supportive? How were they supportive with this career path?
They always have been. They've always been patron of the arts.
Mm-hmm.
That's one reason I loved it so much. And I think for my dad, he was like, you have this full scholarship to a 4-year school. Right. But I convinced him, and I know my mother had a lot to do with that as well.
Right.
And they allowed me to move to New York and go to AMDA.
So now you said you made 3 days of a performance. This is some real church stuff. It always come back to the Lord. Hallelujah. Every time. But let's talk about these performances you just performed for the parents.
It wasn't even a performance. It was like a pitch.
Okay, let's hear one of the days.
I can't. Oh my gosh. I know it had something to do with like, I know I'm going to be very successful in this industry.
Right.
I'm going to work hard. And I made a promise to my father that I would continue my education at some point in my life. Okay. Which I'm still going to hold to that promise.
It's never too late.
Never too late.
You can do that at any age, Daddy. Hold on. She coming, Daddy. Hold on. She going there. She's going to do it.
But, yeah, it was stuff like that and tears. Mm-hmm. And also, I think one day I was like, I'm going to move there regardless. Mm-hmm. Like, I just didn't know at the time if a 4-year program was for me.
Right. Absolutely. And it was in New York, and it offered the things that you were interested in. Yeah. It's tough for parents. I'm sure they're happy they did it now.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I guess we was right. Thank you, God. Those plans and that pitch worked.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So when you first moved to New York, like, how did you feel? It was so different, I'm sure, from Tennessee. How was that moving here for you?
Yeah. Honestly, I was excited.
Yeah.
I was 18.
Yeah.
New York was big. You still had to use a token for the train. The cars hadn't really come out yet. They were coming out. I remember going to orientation, and they were like, we're going to do a walk around the city with your class. And me and this guy named Bobby were still associates to this day. He was like, you want to ditch it? And I had just met him. We ditched, and we walked around near AMDA, near the Ansoni on 72nd. Got pizza, rode the train somewhere, went to the park, and then came back and met up with the group.
Just breaking rules.
And
straight out the gate.
When you're young, you're like,
yeah.
I'm still kind of like that though. I'm not a real follower.
Right, I know. It doesn't feel free.
No, it holds you back from your fullest potential.
Yeah, why not do any and everything you want to do? Yeah. Like a podcast out of the blue. Live a little. Exactly that. I mean, hey, it's a part of being an artist, I think, because you just are able to explore so many facets of yourself. We're already limited because we can't really explore all the things that we, portray in some of these parts, but at least we can explore a little bit for ourselves. Some, self-education. So, so you were excited. You didn't get homesick at all or nothing like that?
I did at some points, but for the most part, I was content being in New York.
You knew you had made the right choice and it just felt right for you. That's how I felt when I was here too.
Yeah.
Even though it was so different, I was just like, I'm home.
What years were you at AMDA?
19. I mean, not too shortly before you. No, I think it was 99, 2000-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my experience was completely different. I mean, I feel like AMDA's a school, whatever you put in is what you get out.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from what I needed to learn about Broadway from there, I think. Yeah. So, so you said you went to a theater school from 5th grade to high school. So you were a straight theater kid your whole school age.
Yeah.
She said, yeah.
And it wasn't 5th through 8th grade. that school, Wharton Arts Magnet School, which is now I think called IT Cresswell. It was, you would rotate. So you would do music classes, whether you wanted to play an instrument or be in the choir. You would be in dance. And I think you could choose 2 disciplines from what I remember. And I chose dance and musical, vocal performance.
That's awesome.
But then I also was in the band. So I don't know how I did that. Played the alto saxophone for a couple of years.
Come on, saxophone.
Yeah. And I've actually thought about picking it back up.
I'm gonna tell you, my little nephew cousin, he plays a saxophone. It's a beautiful instrument.
It is.
It's a beautiful instrument.
And what I remember, it was easy to learn the sax. Yeah. So
why not?
Why not?
Come on.
During the pandemic, I went to my parents' house.
Saxophone. The smooth
sounds.
Exactly. I'm all for that. Listen, I'm all for it. Yeah, so I mean, I love that you were able to do that, because some places, like, you know, myself and why I made this platform, honestly, for people who don't really know too much about theater, like we didn't grow up learning about shows every day and all these, you know, all the Broadway shows that there are and all the history. It's like we're learning as we go. We love it, but we're learning as we go.
Yeah.
And we get to see people that look like us, that are beautiful brown queens that are representing us on Broadway, and I feel like you guys should be celebrated way more than you are. Because, you know, there's just so much beautiful black talent on there. And we just don't get to see you guys, you know, as much as I want to. So here we are.
Yes.
Here we are. Okay, looks like we're playing a game.
Uh-oh,
okay,
wait. Twist.
Okay. All right, so this game is called Would You Rather. Okay? All right. Okay, so the categories are if you were cursed.
Okay.
Or epic.
Okay.
Love.
Okay.
Or go deep. Okay? You're going to have to choose A or B from each category. First category up. Cursed.
Okay.
If you were cursed, would you rather A, never be able to take off a motorcycle helmet?
Wait, no.
Or B, never be able to take off a corset?
A.
We'd be snatched. A. Yeah, I was about to say, we'd be snatched, honey. We'd be snatched.
And you figure out how to breathe.
We'll stretch it out.
Yeah.
But you feel like you would be
adjust. Yeah.
claustrophobic.
Yeah,
it out.
I want that off. I feel like I have a nice face card, so I want to.
You need to show it. Period. Okay, and you'll have your courses, so you'll be ready.
Snatched.
You'll be ready.
Hold up.
Okay, epic. A, would you rather never get a hangover? B, never get sick?
Never get sick.
Yeah, I think that's a good one too.
I can manage a hangover.
I feel like I don't even get hangovers.
I don't really drink as much anymore either.
Me neither. Even if I do, I just feel like I can't even get, like, I don't get drunk anymore. I don't feel like I don't get drunk anymore. Like, when I was young, I'd be like, I'm so wasted. Now I'm like, oh, I'm fine.
Right.
This is fine. This is
right.
me. So I could have a problem, but I don't know. Okay, love. Would you rather be able to kiss only by licking like a dog? Or B, only like you're giving CPR? Mouth to mouth.
Oh, gosh.
Those are your only 2 choices for your sugar you gotta get. Licking like a dog or
Mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
You know it, mouth to mouth. Yeah.
Okay. It's very romantic. She's very romantic, everybody. She is so romantical. Okay.
Licking like my dog is a licker and it drives me bananas. I love her to death. But it
drives me bananas. I'm like, if you don't get that stink breath, I feel bad because I should be brushing her teeth. But still, I be like, Cinnamon.
Oh, Cinnamon, that's a great name.
I know it's a stripper name, but whatever. What's your dog's name?
Flower.
Oh, Flower. I love that. I feel like I see that on the Instagram with you all the time. Very on brand. I love it. Very on brand. Yes. Okay, go deep.
Uh-oh.
A, would you like to hear any conversations about you? Or B, oh, this is real go deep. Know when you're going to die.
Oh, hear any conversations about you.
Okay. That took a dark turn. Sorry. Do you want to know? I know. No, can you imagine? I'll be like, heck no. No, thank you. Keep that one. I'm good. Okay, that was our game. Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Okay.
I like that.
That was cute,
That was
right?
fun.
Cute
Yeah,
little game. Cute
yeah.
little game. Okay. So now,
You hot?
hot and cold, hot and cold.
I understand.
A lot of mercy. I just want to take the hair off, but it's my actual hair.
Yeah.
Like, you know the feeling. It's so hot. It's
Yes.
like, oh, girl, you heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. So I asked you what already inspired you to become a artist. So if you were not an artist, what career would you have chosen?
Ooh.
Out of all that you listed, you want to be an astronaut, you want to be
know.
you want to be a
Oh gosh. Like the things I listed, I don't think that I always think I want to be a teacher, but then I look at the educational system, I'm like, no thank you.
right. Right.
A lawyer.
A lawyer. Okay. Is there a specific type of lawyer?
I think I'd be a great entertainment lawyer or like
yeah.
a defense attorney.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should be out there helping people. Okay. Attorney should be in school for forever.
Forever.
Oh Lord. That's my baby daddy. Not right now. Okay. So yeah. What was that? Which came first, dancing or singing? I think you answered that already. You said dancing came first.
Dancing in first and then singing, yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite type of dance?
Ooh, wiggling.
Wiggling.
You know, I'm a person, I love to go out dancing.
Oh yeah.
And I will go out dancing by myself, put in earplugs, and like live my life for hours.
I love that.
I love like contemporary dance, but I like my favorite style of dance is like house.
Okay, yeah.
Like when you go out, you just let your body glide through outer space. You're not there to show off.
Right.
You just there to let the soul be free.
You got your little light. You got your little light things.
You know, I haven't had my light things in a minute. I don't think. Wait, I actually pulled those out recently. I had a party.
Oh, really?
A game night.
You had a game night party and you pulled your thing. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What games y'all be playing? What's your favorite game?
I think we were playing the main game that took forever was like charades.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's not the one that you're like first word, second word. No.
No, I get them confused because there's charades and there's the other one
that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. I forget what it's called though.
Everybody in the comments are gonna be like, it's called blah blah blah.
Because charades is like you pick something and you can describe it, and then round 2 you use one word, and then round 3 you can't use any words.
Oh yeah, that sounds complicated but fun.
Yeah,
that sounds fun. Oh. What? Okay, so I want to find out more about the games though. I'm sorry. I want to know what was like a funny thing that you had to do at the game, at your game night? Like one of the funniest rounds.
Oh, funniest rounds. Oh gosh, I can't remember. Shit.
I gotta live vicariously. Like, what do you guys do?
Well, I will say this. I'll try to think of something, but I will say this. I'm the type of person, like when I gather people, it's gonna be fun, but we also gonna go deep. So I made people write down something they wanted to release by January 1st, something they wanted to add to their life by January 1st, and then a surprise that when they open this envelope back up on January 1st, they look at it and go, oh, I did accomplish that. Something that they could surprise themselves by. So we did that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's amazing.
I'll say this, game night, I feel like game night with black folks always gets dramatic and people start fussing.
Oh yeah.
And arguing. And that happened, of course, with love.
It don't matter if it's Uno or Spades. Somebody gonna get a mad.
Yeah.
Why are you putting down 4?
Honey.
We only need 3.
We also ended up doing a TikTok. I made these grown-ups do a TikTok.
I love that.
With our glow sticks and our glow lights, so that was fun too.
Oh, cute.
Yes.
I don't know why. I love that though. So you be out salsing too? You like to go dancing in the Spanish spots?
I haven't gone salsa dancing in a minute, but I'm open to it.
Yeah, it's fun. They be out there dancing, honey, all
they got
night
a
long.
Broadway salsa. When I was in Hercules, our standby for the Muses, she created like Broadway salsa, and they do that. I think in the summer times, maybe.
That's amazing. How was Hercules, by the way?
It was great.
Oh, bless your soul. Herc was on a roll, honey. Oh.
It's still like an ongoing thing. They haven't brought it back to America, but we're hoping
when it comes
2026.
Because that's you, that's Tiffany Mann,
Tiffany Mann, Charity Dawson, Destiny Ray McGinnis, and Rashidra Scott.
Come on, B-Way. We need y'all to pay attention to this. How much joy would that bring to everybody's soul?
Gosh. So much joy.
Oh, such a good show. I did it on a cruise ship back in 1954.
Good night,
It was
Shannon.
really a great time.
1954.
So yeah, it was. Okay, so you're currently starring in Softs as
Mary Church Tarot.
And tell us about her. And tell us about a little bit of your show day routine. What do you like to do on the show days to prepare?
So to prepare, I'm one of them artists.
Wake up?
My routine shifts from day to day.
Okay.
The last 3 weeks I've kind of been off routine, which is not normal for me, but I think a lot of anxiety as we approach the election.
Right.
And now after, I'm like, okay, you gotta stand up now and get back to routine in life. But usually I wake up, I do, there's this book called The Magic by Rhonda. What is Rhonda's last name? I can't remember.
I know that book.
But she wrote The Secret as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it because it gives you 28 days of exercises, starting with 10 things that you're grateful for that you write down right when you wake up.
I love that. That's beautiful.
It's such a great way to start your day, and especially
Absolutely.
in the hectic city. I live in Harlem, and so while it's a little bit quiet there, going down to Midtown, it can take everything out of you.
Yeah.
And so I do that just to set the tone. I stretch, I pray, I meditate. Then I take my dog Flower out for a walk. I have my favorite coffee shop called Nine Tails, which is on, it's on 126 between Lenox and 5th.
Shout out coffee shop.
Nine Tails. And it's inside of a plant store. It's inside of a hardware store. So you get like the best of all the worlds.
Serenity.
Yes.
Oh,
they have some of the best.
So many plants. I want to put so many plants in
Oh,
there.
you should.
You should. I mean, I'm still new, so we're still coming along. But yes, plants just
create
make
your own
life.
ecosystem.
Oh, it just makes life. I never could understand why my mom had so many plants. Now I do. I'm like, girl, this ain't a jungle. Now I'm like, I live in a jungle too.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, yeah, and it revives you, I think, because New York has a lot of green spaces, but to come home to your own green space, that's like chef's kiss, 10 out of 10.
Definitely, like, So you get your coffee while you're on the walk with Flower.
Yeah, I usually get a London Fog, a tea of some sort.
What is that? When you said that to me earlier, I was like, I know what a chai tea, but what is a London Fog? I know it's a nice coat.
It is a nice coat. It is a nice coat.
What kind of cocktail?
A London Fog is Earl Grey tea or English breakfast tea, but I like Earl Grey. And that's steeped, and then I use oat milk, take some oat milk, steam that oat milk over that, and then add like a sweetener. So honey, simple syrup, a vanilla sweetener. It's really good.
I think I've seen that on Pinterest, and I never knew what the name of it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guys, that's a London Fog. Okay, so we want to be fancy this fall.
I started getting those when I moved to Seattle.
That sounds like
it's a very Seattle thing.
It sounds like a very Seattle thing. I like Seattle. Seattle's a nice
Seattle's
city, right?
a great city.
I love that city.
I could live there.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with you. It's a beautiful city.
It's beautiful. Didn't we? Were you on the tour when we went back to Seattle?
I think I was.
Yeah.
I remember going shopping there. That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah.
Like they had a big, beautiful strip,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like Fifth Avenue, like they're on Fifth Avenue. But it was such a nice city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
What's one of your other favorite cities? 'Cause I know you've traveled all over the world in all the shows. So, which city like stood out to you the most?
In America?
This is America.
I mean, Seattle, yes. I love Los Angeles, but I have to say London. I lived in London. I did a show in the West End a couple years back, and I love London. I love London.
I've never been to London. London seems like it's a really awesome place.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Very New York-y.
It's like Philadelphia. Because
Okay.
because UK is much older than the United States, If the buildings are older, you know, there's a little bit more tradition in the way, the architecture and the way people move throughout their days. You can drink in the streets. Like, I remember the first time I went to a pub and I was like, y'all just walking down the street with an open beer, like in a cup, in a glass. And I was like, okay. But I liked it. It's a slower pace too. So you get a city vibe with this slow pace. So it reminds me of Philly and Seattle, kind of.
Is it clean?
Yeah.
Very clean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I miss. I wish New York, but out here is clean.
It's very clean out here.
It's like Manhattan, because Manhattan, they keep Manhattan kind of clean, but all the outskirts, they could care less about. Like Harlem, I'd be like, they could clean up a little trash. Why y'all gotta do them like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, my days usually start with that. I am a member of the Y, so sometimes I go to the YMCA. And if it's a 2-show day, then I head to work. Sometimes I meal prep, sometimes I don't. Like it depends on how I'm feeling. And I'm really trying to practice rest because my body has shifted. I just turned 40, and so
I don't know why I keep seeing you like a whole little girl. I don't know why I still see you like you're like 22.
It's fine.
Not you turning.
I just made it to 40.
Welcome to the club. For those other ladies, not me. No, that's amazing. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a change.
It's a baby.
It's a change.
So I'm relearning my body this year too.
Yeah.
It's the hormones, the cortisol levels, the hot flashes.
Oh my God. That's why you say you understand. I was like, girl, you. Yeah.
So that's been an interesting journey, but I also feel so sexy in that. So
you find yourself so comfortable in this, in your skin, all the things that you were battling 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And just like to give up on it, like I would always be like in my certain age, like, oh, I'm so this, so that. I look back, I'm like, girl, you was so hot. Like, so I have to take inventory now and be like, you're going to look back on this and be like, you was so hot.
Right.
So enjoy it and just, who cares?
Yeah.
You know? But it's like, you know, us women, we deal with our own insecurities, but I find that getting older, even though it has other things, it's just been one of the most enlightening things. You know, because you just learn so much about yourself.
Yes, you do.
Right?
Yeah.
And resting is important.
It's so important.
Yeah.
It's so important. You also realize that ain't nobody thinking about you. Like, I think in this industry and in life in general, we come up thinking, oh, that people are going to think this if I do this and that. And ain't nobody thinking about you. Folks are trying to make it through their day. Okay?
They ain't thinking about you.
Do what you need to do for you.
They're worried about themselves.
Listen.
They're trying to, that's the biggest thing. Ain't nobody coming to help fix things. Ain't nobody thinking about you. Yeah, I love that though. Because it gives you the freedom, like, well, forget it then. Let me just figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me be me.
Let me just be me. Let me find out who she is and just love on her. Yeah. What do you think about Broadway's diversifying? It's definitely come a long way. It has some ways to go.
It has. It. You know, I feel like right after 2020, we saw a lot of these theater owners, producers, writers, directors, choreographers, stage managers, actors, doing a lot of diversity, equity, and inclusion work. And I feel like a lot of people, primarily white people, did not understand that they weren't inclusive.
Right.
And they had to be shown the diagram of what inclusion actually looks like. Because I think you can be inclusive on some levels and it still be a white space.
Absolutely.
And I think race plays such a bigger part than a lot of other, because with race, if you have a diverse cast or a diverse room, you're going to get different religions, you're going to get different languages, you're going to get different ways of living and lifestyles and loving within that. Absolutely. So to me, like, race is like the biggest, because the trickle down, you'll get so much diversity and under that. So I found that, like, you know, every show I would start, they would have some DEI person there doing a speech, and we would do exercises, and now that it's 2024, there are moments where I feel like it's back to business as usual. And that is hard as an artist, as an actor, because I feel like actors, for the most part, are doing the work. It's the gatekeepers.
Absolutely.
That are not always white.
Right.
Let me be clear on that. They're not always white folks. But people who are producing, who are theater owners, who are sitting on boards of theaters. And it goes back to the good old thing, and I'm going to be real honest right now.
Please.
Colonization didn't just colonize, the ideology behind colonization and white supremacy, it didn't just affect white people. You can be any race, any ethnicity, and be a white supremacist or a colonizer, in my opinion.
As we've seen from a lot of the supporters.
Right.
Yeah.
So having that mindset and being a black person or a person of color or a woman or a non-binary person or a queer person or a trans person, and being a part of a marginalized group, you're still perpetuating the system of colonization and white supremacy. And so I've seen a lot of that happen within the theater world. And so it's really hard sometimes navigating that, because you're looking at somebody who's also marginalized as you are,
right?
But they're upholding white supremacistic structures.
Right. And I find that a lot of change will come for different ethnicities and groups when they stand up, but sometimes it lacks and doesn't move as fast to make change for African Americans, such as LGBT community, Asian community. They get a lot of things in play fast on paper. Then we can get some kind of bills to put in place as well. Facts. Which would be great for us, because put it in writing. We just need a little security too, I feel like everyone else can get a little bit. We can get a little bit too.
But I also think, I think it's very important, specifically for black people, to advocate for themselves.
Yes.
And to not apologize for asking for what you need.
Yeah.
Especially black women. I think we've been stereotyped so much in society and then within this industry. You speak up about a wig or a makeup color or tight colors or, a costume being a certain way, or I have locks, and you advocate for yourself, and a lot of people don't like that. But I think when you advocate for yourself in love, and you're not asking for anything that's outrageous or extreme, you're just asking for things that you simply need that other artists are getting, there's nothing wrong with that. And so I say continue to do that.
Absolutely. That is something that you have to continue to do, because it will make way for the next person that looks like us, who wants to stand up and know their worth and say, no, I'd like A, B, and C in my contract as well. Yeah. You have to believe in yourself, because if you don't sell it to them, they won't buy it. Yeah. So, we can't be afraid to ask. And, you have to know your worth. You know your talent. You know what you're bringing to the table, and they should just respect that, So... what is your favorite and least favorite thing about this career we have chosen? Your favorite thing is?
My favorite thing is I get to meet a lot of different people and work with a lot of different people.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. That's a fact.
My least favorite thing is specifically with theater. I think we are overworked.
Yeah.
It is not natural to do 8 shows a week.
Yeah, it's tough.
And some people might be like, "Oh, you complain." I'm like, "Well, then you've never done 8 shows a week."
And it's not a complaint. It's just an observation. It's one of the least favorite things that you could think about in your career. That's a hard task. That's a hard ask. A lot of the stars, they come from the TV world, and they go on Broadway to sharpen their skills, because it takes a different type of skill to do that 8 times a week.
Yes.
So we commend all of you guys, all of you queens out there doing it every night, shutting it down, and showing us how it's done, because we know that it is not easy. So I understand. What has been your favorite role so far?
I think playing Mary.
Oh, this is fun for you.
Yeah.
Yay.
I love playing her because she was a real person. She is somebody that a lot of people don't know about, so it's nice to educate people on who she is.
Right.
You only get a 10th of her storyline in the overall arc of Suffs, because there's so many people to talk about. But she was a titan, she was a visionary, she was a dreamer, she was a doer, she was an educator, she spoke 6 languages. She was one of the first black women to graduate with a master's and a bachelor's. She was born 8 months after emancipation and died 2 months before Brown versus Board of Education. So she saw a lot. Her father was one of the first black millionaires in Tennessee and Memphis. Her mother was a homeowner, and she was the product of slaves, enslaved people. So she was amazing, and to commune with her every evening, to read her diary entries and correspondence between other activists and educators and writers of that time through the Library of Congress website. It's just fascinating that, you know, this woman existed and did everything she did and lived as long as she did and was still quick and witty and tenacious and inspiring. So I really love, and it's an emotional arc throughout Suffs, but it's rewarding in the end, because we're sitting here today with your podcast because of women like Mary Church Terrell and Ida B. Wells.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, do you feel her come over you sometimes when you're performing?
Her
spirit, her
I
essence?
I do. You know, honestly, I wasn't gonna come back to New York to do Suffs, and I had a dream, and Mary came to me my dream, and she was like, "You'll be okay." And I was like, okay. And so I was like, I'll do the show. And, you know, yeah, I'm grateful that I said yes. I'm grateful to be a part of the storytelling of her legacy.
Right.
And to learn from her.
Wow, I love that. That is so beautiful. So what would you consider like your dream role? This. Or
I feel like it hasn't been written yet.
Okay, I love that. I love that.
You know, my dream role is a show where my name is above the title.
Okay.
Anastacia McClesky in Gotcha. And kind of a show that's like a play with music. So it's not necessarily a musical, but there are elements where I get to sing. Excuse me. But it's a play with music. I don't know what that plot line is yet.
Right.
But I know it's coming, where I get to like lead a show, and I'm looking forward to that.
Put it on out there. You heard it first here.
Yeah.
Next time she's here, she's gonna be like, and I'm leading a show.
Yes.
And see, put it out there. Manifestation. Do you want to move that pillow? You can just tuck it behind you.
No,
if it's
I love
annoying
it.
you. Okay. She said, I love it.
I have a sway in my back. So
Oh, good. I love that. Okay, so I have some random questions for you. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. It's game time. Game time. Okay, but this isn't what I want to do. This is what I want to do first. Okay. We have been doing an infamous game called Marry, Kiss, or Kill.
Oh.
Ooh, have you heard of this game?
No.
Okay, I'm going to give you 3 people, and you have to choose
yes.
to marry one. Yes.
Kiss somebody or kill them.
Exactly. Okay? All right, I'm going to give you some... Wait, what are your pronouns?
She, her.
She, her. Okay. Would you marry, kill, kiss Soulja Boy, Idris Elba, or Chris Brown? Would you marry Soulja Boy, kill, kiss Idris Elba, marry, kill, kiss Chris Brown?
So I think I would marry Idris Elba.
Oh, he's marriage material now.
He is. He's fine,
He
too.
is so fine. I know that he's not from here, so he's so fine.
Yeah.
Your language, darling.
He's from London.
You're fine, darling. You're fine, darling.
I would...
Oh, Drake!
No. I think I would kill Soulja Boy and kiss Chris Brown.
Poor Soldier. I'm sorry, Soldier. He had killed you. I thought you were going to get some loving. Yes, Chris Brown, you get all the kisses.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this one's going to be a little bit closer to home. We might edit it out. Okay, would you marry, kill, kiss Daniel Watts? The Daniel Watts.
That's my homeboy.
Nathaniel Stampley.
Oh, Nate.
Or would you marry, kill, kiss Chuck Cooper? The floor is yours.
Oh my gosh.
Marry, kill, kiss Daniel Watts, Nathaniel Stampley, or Chuck Cooper?
I don't.
Every time I get close to home, it's like,
I know,
what do I do?
Okay.
Okay.
I think I might marry Chuck
Ooh.
because he's an older gentleman,
Mhm.
well established.
Yes.
He could take care of me.
Him and his wife can take
Yes.
care of you. Yeah, they can.
This is a hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Right?
But I think she would like to bring you in.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Daniel, please forgive me. I love you.
Don't you kill my boy. But you can't kill Nathaniel either. You can't kill Nate. I'm not letting you die. I'm not letting you get
I
killed.
don't know. It's a toss
But see, you can't kiss him either because it's like a bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
I think I'd kiss Daniel and kill Nate.
Not the nicest man on Broadway.
I know, right?
Come on. All right, well, you heard it here first. Daniel, seems like you're getting some sugar.
It would be a peck.
It would be a peck. But it's the hypothetical game, guys. We love you. Long live all of you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yes. American Scale strikes again. Told me when you were away a couple of years, you were, just taking some rest, and in moments like that, what would you like say to yourself to encourage yourself to move, to keep moving forward towards your dreams?
So I have a little series called Hello Beautiful Spirits, and it's not, I shouldn't even call it a series anymore because I haven't really leaned into it as much as I could lately. But it's
still a series.
It is a series. In 2020, I would wake up and I would say, hello, beautiful spirit, to myself, just to be like, keep going, keep going. And it turned into me affirming other people, affirming who we are and where we were at the time. And it would be stuff like, hello, beautiful spirits, remember you are the creation and the creator. Simple things like that. I posted one the other day on Instagram just about the election and how, we need to focus on rest and breath right now. If you didn't vote for Trump and you're feeling heavy and weighed down, focus on rest, focus on the breath in your body.
Yeah.
And tomorrow or next week or next month, we can get back to organizing and, financial aid things and all that good stuff. But first we have to honor the body because the body needs to process.
Yeah.
It needs to release.
Mm-hmm.
And then it needs to rest, and then it can focus on the journey ahead.
Yeah.
They didn't get the Civil Rights Act passed or the Voting Rights Act without rest and honoring breath.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's things like that. It eventually will be a podcast when I have time to actually sit down and flush that out.
Absolutely.
But Hello Beautiful Spirit or Hello Beautiful Spirits, it's something that I lean into for myself. And it's something that during that time, I was in nature a lot. I think being in nature is very important to the health and the growth of humanity and humans. Hello Beautiful Spirits.
Period. So that's good, and I love also that you wake up and you write about the 10 things you're grateful for, because there's nothing more powerful than gratefulness.
Yeah.
I just believe in gratefulness so much because we can so easily focus on the things that aren't happening or the things that are, and then you miss sight and lose sight of the things that you actually have, and that things that God, universe, source has already given you in abundance.
We are living in abundance.
Exactly.
And when sometimes we discount that we're living in the prayers or the things we've manifested or meditated on, we are truly living in them. They might not look like what we thought they would look like, but honestly, most times it's 10 times better than what we thought it would look like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you focus on the good and not what you think needs to be adjusted, because there's so many things that we have to be grateful for. Like, just being alive is one of my favorite things for say, how you doing? another day above ground is
Yeah.
a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Because, you know, every day is a great day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
Absolutely.
You choose it. So I'm so glad that you came out. I'm so happy.
Thank you for having
Thank you
me.
so much. We're going to play one last game.
Okay.
It's going to be a truth or dare game, and I'm going to leave with one last question.
Okay.
But I just want to say thank you so much. I know you haven't heard from me in so long, but the fact that you're here and just sharing your talent on Broadway and giving so many people like myself, like the young girls that are looking at you coming up, inspiration that they can do anything from anywhere. It just is a wonderful thing. So we want to thank you and give you your flowers for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and our last game, because I play too much, all I want to do is play games.
Play is very important. Play is important in life.
All I want to do is play games. I don't ever want to be serious. Okay, so truth or dare? Put all my cards down. Now.
Truth.
Oh, Jesus! She said truth.
Oh, wait.
Okay, fine. Truth. You'll have two questions. Truth. First truth question is, have you ever had a showmance?
Ha! Yes.
You chose true. Oh, she said yes. Fast. Aren't they cool?
They
I know,
are
you
cool.
shouldn't say that, guys. No.
No, they're cool. The discernment comes into play when the show is over and then you figure out what
Yes.
this is.
You're like, oh, that was La La Land.
Right.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, truth or dare again.
True.
You can't say true again. You gotta say
Okay, dare.
Okay. Yay, okay, dare. You gotta trip out for 5 seconds. You know what trip out is because you're a dancer and you be on TikTok.
What's trip out? I don't know what that is.
It's when they do that dance.
No.
Don't make me do it first. You do it.
I don't know how it goes.
You don't know how to trip.
Oh, they can't see me. I didn't know that was the name for it.
Yes, it's a trip out. Let's go. Let's go. I was like, you get two truths. You got to get one there. Yay! I love that for us. So as we leave on this last note, thanking Miss McClesky for coming to the Candy Suite, chilling with us. If you could say one thing to your younger self now, what would you say?
Oh, I say so many things.
I'm out of shape.
You having a hot flash?
Hot fast, so fast, out of breath, asthma attack. I don't know.
One thing. Wow.
I know, right? After a trip out.
Right. I think I'd say focus up. Focus up. Or don't just be you.